Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your industrial stream. Yes, it's Trade Talk with me, Pop. And yeah, it's going to be a good stream today. We're going to look at a few articles about government providing more funding for apprenticeships and such, getting young people interested in trades. And we'll also have, the usual pictures, videos, etc., things I've been working on. So I hope you guys will sit back, relax, have a good time, and let's make this, your industrial stream. Before we get all to that, though, I just want to say hello to you, David Glenn. Nice to see you. Hope things are going well for you over in Minnesota. And to Fabric Folds. Yeah, you missed Sunday. That's okay. But your cousin, Mitchell Hitz, was visiting the ranch and became site of an impromptu Indian summit. Hey, I hope you guys had a great time. You never heard of the Kainai, and I've never either, but they're big in Alberta. I have not heard of them. And are we trying to become a state? I mean, I'd be okay with that. Alberta becoming a state. As long as we have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that you guys do, I'm all for it. Because the one we have now is not so good. All right, let's get into the news there. Let's see how things are going. I know it's all been about doom and gloom with tariffs lately. But let's see what else is going on aside from tariffs. The Kainai Nation, also known as the Blood Tribe, is a First Nations band government in southern Alberta. Okay, part of the Blackfoot Confederacy with a population of 12,965 members. Thanks for that, David. I had no idea. But they're in southern Alberta, so that's why I didn't hear of them before. I'm sort of in the middle, in central. And it's DJ Ronnie G. What's up, DJ? Making your way home from work, I bet. In case you guys missed it on Sunday, DJ and I were doing Sunday Anime Chat on Macross Plus and Macross 7. So it was good to have DJ on there. He had a lot of knowledge about Macross 7 and Macross Plus. Let's see here. We'll get to what's going on. On March the 5th, Ruby Sahota, Minister of Democratic Institutions and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency of Southern Ontario, announced a more than $19 million combined repayable investment to support 9 companies as they manufacture and or adopt clean technologies to produce environmentally sustainable projects. Chemicheck, Colorific Coatings, Convertus, York Biofuel, CR Plastic Products, Hybrid Power Solutions, Green Mantra Technologies, Optiglass, Phil Maurer and Associates, and Prism Coatings Canada. As part of this investment, Hybrid Power Solutions Incorporated is receiving over $2 million to accelerate the commercialization of its fuel-free and hybrid-based power generation products and facilitate the adoption of sustainable power generation technologies. Felt so good you walked for 6 hours? Hey, get your steps in, David. That's more important. Getting off the couch and getting up and going for a walk, especially one for 6 hours, you got to get those steps in. It's good for you. Can you watch the whole stream or you're only allowed to watch 75%? Yeah, that's right. You have to watch the first 75%, but the last 25%, sorry. They don't continue the MAF story, do they? MAF? The Macross Frontier story? Is that what you're talking about, Fabric? I don't understand the acronym MAF. CR Plastics products will receive $2,500,000 to adopt specialized equipment at its Dundalk facility to manufacture outdoor furniture made from 100% recycled post-consumer plastics to improve operational efficiencies. And Chemicheck will use the $1.2 million in funding to enhance manufacturing capabilities at its Ajax facility that produces environmentally friendly chemical formulations for food processing and pharmaceutical companies. Sounds pretty ugly to me. Oh, Macross Super Fortress. Okay. So that story is kind of not one that Shoji Kawamori wants to revisit. The adventures of Hikaru, Misa, and Minmay are at an end. Mostly because the voice actor for Hikaru unalived himself when he was back in the day, so I don't think they would bring him back. Looks like you'll need reading glasses. There you go. But yeah, that's what happened, and so it's going to be different characters, but you'll still get some good enjoyment out of it. I definitely don't quit after Macross Super Fortress. Mississauga company Colorific Coatings will receive $2,900 to enhance its manufacturing capabilities for the sustainable production of powder coating solutions for aluminum and steel products. Receiving $3 million is Convertus. York Biofuel will equip the East Gwillimbury facility with technologies to convert organic waste into fertilizer and renewable natural gas. Yeah, it is sad, and I was hoping for a continuation with Hikaru, Misa, and Minmay, but it's unfortunate that they haven't been able to do that. But on the in case you're not informed, there is a new Macross series coming from Sunrise, and I'm not sure when it's going to arrive, but it's on the way. So we can look forward to that in the coming year, I guess, or so. Hopefully. Yes, DJ, it's SDFM, Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Yes, Mega Road 1, which is the ship that Misa, Hikaru, and Minmay were on, it went missing near the galactic core. Yeah, 100%. Green Mantra will receive $3.8 million in funding to expand its manufacturing capabilities, 100% recycled plastic additives to enhance its product offering and achieve operational efficiencies. Optiglass will receive $2 million to operationalize. What does that mean? Operationalize its recycled glass processing plant in Waterdown. That tells me nothing. It's like a made-up word. Operationalize. Okay. You were hoping for more story on the ginger Minmay can suck. You're like me. You're a Misa fan too. I am. I thought she was better than Minmay. To process materials used by the refractory, mineral and processing and construction material industries with $1.2 million in funding, Phil Maurer and Associates will enhance its capabilities, adopt an environmentally sustainable powder coating process, and improve productivity. And Prism Coatings will receive $4 million to adopt advanced resin manufacturing equipment in Holland Landing to support its commercialization of environmentally friendly bio-based road marking paint. Operationalize equals kickback. Yes, all of these sound like just sketchy kickbacks with no real plans. It sounds like free money the government's giving the taxpayer monies to corporations to make them happy. That's what it sounds like to me. I knew I shouldn't have read that one. It would just make me angry. Let's see this. Westinghouse signs memorandum of understanding with Saskatchewan suppliers for global nuclear projects. Ooh, global nuclear projects. Westinghouse has announced the signing of memorandums of understanding with 6 Canadian suppliers in Saskatchewan to support nuclear new build projects in Canada and around the world. These agreements are reportedly a result of Westinghouse's Saskatchewan Supplier Symposium, which provided a forum for potential suppliers to learn about supporting Westinghouse new building projects and technologies. The MOUs established the potential for manufacturing key reactor components, including electrical equipment by Team Power Solutions and steel structures by Industrial Machine and Manufacturing Incorporated, J&E Welding, Northern Strands Group of Companies, STC Industrial Group, and Venables Machine Works. Partnering with suppliers in Saskatchewan is a key part of delivering new advanced nuclear to the nation, as we're currently collaborating with the Saskatchewan Research Council to locate Canada's first eVinci microreactor in the province, said John Gorman, president of Westinghouse Canada. Building on deep expertise and resources of these local suppliers will help us deliver new AP1000 and AP300 reactors to Canada and beyond. What? They're doing nuclear? They're not doing solar or wind power? Oh no! Whatever shall we do? Unbelievable, but at least they're going to someplace that's going to actually have consistent power. Westinghouse is going to host that province again. Yeah. Say it with me, Saskatchewan. And the capital of Saskatchewan? Regina. Rhymes with fun. If you know what I mean. Our partnerships with local suppliers in Saskatchewan will not only help us develop and deploy advanced nuclear technologies in Canada, but they also provide these suppliers with access to export opportunities through global Westinghouse projects, said Dan Lipman, president of Westinghouse Energy Systems. For each AP1000 unit we build around the world, Westinghouse could generate almost $1 billion of Canadian dollars in GDP through local suppliers. The announcement is the latest in a series of agreements with Canadian firms to support Westinghouse AP1000 and AP300 projects globally. Owned by Canadian energy companies Brookfield and Cameco, Westinghouse says it is a nuclear vendor with an operational Generation 3+ reactor technology that is ready to be deployed in Canada to generate electricity by as early as 2035. You can't say it. That's all right. It's all good, Fabric. Okay, so there you want to get into more nuclear reactors, which, more reliable, I would say, than solar and wind power. Minimal job gains in February as unemployment rate holds at 6.6%. Okay, so not a lot of job gains in February. Progressive Planet gets up to $4.6 million in funding to build Pause Glass pilot plant in BC. I don't know what Pause Glass is, but let's find out. So it's a pilot plant. Progressive Planet has announced up to $4.6 million in funding to support the construction of a pilot plant to produce Pause Glass, a low-carbon supplementary cementatious material derived from post-consumer glass. This funding from Sustainable Development Technology Canada covers a 4-year period. The first tranche of $1.55 million was received by Progressive Planet on January 31st, 2025. Pause Glass is our solution to reducing the carbon footprint of cement production. This funding allows us to innovate, reduce emissions, and create value from post-consumer glass, a material that has been historically misallocated and considered waste. But you can also recycle it. Like, you can make glass out of glass again. I don't know why they would have considered it waste. I mean, how stupid are they? It's glass. Melt it. Make new glass. That's, I mean, you gotta wonder about these guys. We are grateful for the financial support of SDTC, whose substantial investment is driving this project forward. Fabric modern nuclear reactors are safer than coal-fired plants, so you approve. Oh yeah, coal. But then there's natural gas plants as well. Natural gas plants are a lot cleaner than coal for sure. You're really sick of the word sustainability? Oh yeah. Talk about overuse. Here's a game to play. Every time they mention sustainability, take a drink. Yeah, David, glass is the most recyclable thing in the world. That's why I don't get they were calling it waste. It's glass, for God's sake. This investment will help Canada push toward decarbonizing. There's another word I hate. Decarbonizing. That's another stupid overused word that means nothing. Push towards decarbonizing the construction industry, cement production, a key contributor to global CO2 output, which is not bad, by the way. CO2 output is not bad. That's carbon dioxide, and trees and plants need carbon dioxide. Currently accounts for over 7% of worldwide emissions. Oh no, 7% of the whole world. Yeah. Come back to me when it's 80%. 7 is nothing. Progressive Plant says Pause Glass reduces reliance on clinker, the carbon-intensive ingredient in traditional cement, while diverting post-consumer glass from landfills. Glass shouldn't be going to landfills anyway. Where's the recycling people? What are they got to say about this? Why is glass going into landfills? Why is that there, recycling fanatics? Why is your glass in landfills? You read a lot about clean coal recently. It's not as much of myth as you thought. They physically rinse the coal to get rid of unnecessary stuff. Yeah, and there's also like different kinds of coal, grades of it as well, DJ, like anthracitic coal and all that stuff. Like there's soft coal and there's actually like really hard coal. Then you use a fabric filter on stack, wet fabric to capture particulate. Yeah. Or they can use electrostatic precipitators, which will use static electricity to catch the large particles and such. They have all that kind of stuff, and I've worked at a cement plant. I know what they do there, and it's very clean. In the end, you have a low sulfur or sulfur-free burn. We are the carbon they want to decarbonize. I've heard that before, Fabric. You get confused about carbon monoxide and its relationship to dioxide. Carbon monoxide kills you. Carbon dioxide just makes you feel lightheaded because it's displacing the oxygen. But your body will readily take in carbon monoxide. Yeah, electrostatic precipitators, you betcha. Anthracitic is hard coal and bituminous is soft coal. Thanks for that, Fabric. I wasn't sure what the soft one was called. I knew there was anthracitic. They use a Dyson Air to scrub the stacks at cement factories? Kinda. The only thing that uses coal at the cement factory is the kiln. So they will usually use natural gas, but then in the wintertime when demand goes up, they will switch over to coal and they'll burn coal instead. And it burns so hot in a kiln that there is no residue after. So that it's the heat. It burns so hot that there is no residue left. There's no smoke or anything. That's how hot it burns. So these guys got to get their facts straight, get their heads on straight, and do their research properly. Having the support of SDTC and Canada's largest cement company, Lafarge Canada, reinforces that Pause Glass is a relevant and promising solution to decarbonizing the production of cement, said Steve Harper. With traditional sources of supplementary cementatious materials in decline globally, innovation is more critical than ever. Companies like Progressive Planet are providing new options to reduce the embodied carbon of building materials through circular economy advancements. We are thankful to the Government of Canada for their ongoing support. Read that as paying us of emerging technologies and look forward to working with Progressive Planet on the testing and use of Pause Glass, said Brad Cole, President and CEO of Lafarge Canada. They're looking to take this guy out. Why is this guy happy about that? He's the president of a cement plant, or the cement corporation. Why would you want these guys to succeed? They're going to come for your business. Unless they can't make it as cheap as cement, in which case then they don't have to worry. They're burning gases and everything yeah, exactly, David. Like a rocket star. It burns at such a high heat. It's just unreal. The Kamloops facility, that's in British Columbia, will aim to serve as a hub for innovation and production, leveraging Canada's post-consumer glass supply to scale pause glass for global markets. Unlike traditional SCMs such as fly ash, which face dwindling supply as provinces phase out coal-fired power, pause glass is made from post-consumer glass, primarily sourced from cities. This proximity to raw materials and end user ensures pause glass can integrate into existing cement production processes, offering a scalable and sustainable solution for the industry. The pilot plant is expected to begin operations in October 2025, marking a key step towards scaling pause glass production and accelerating its adoption across North America and beyond. The first phase of operations includes dry processing of the post-consumer glass to remove all contaminants from the glass and creating the coarse glass powder, which was sole ingredient of pause glass. I mean, okay. Dry process of glass. Oh, put it in an oven. Does it have paper stuck to it? It'll burn off. Does it have glue on it? It'll burn off. I don't know what they're making a big deal about here. All the contaminants. Burn it and then smash it. I mean, you want powder? Smash the glass. Simple. In Phase 1, Progressive Planet will also make other coarse glass products such as CanBlast, that's crystalline silica-free sandblasting media, which Progressive Planet has sold for over a decade, but had it made by a third-party company using post-consumer glass in the past. Phase 2 will involve wet grinding of coarse glass powder to create pause glass. Phase 2 construction of the wet grinding facility is expected to be completed in late 2026. Okay, well, we'll keep our eyes open on this. Maybe in around October, they'll have another news bit, little tidbit about this plant for their pause glass. We'll see what happens then. New Flyer to supply 43 buses to Durham region. Is that Carolina, where Durham is? I guess we should look at it and then see what kind of buses they're going to be. Are they going to be electric buses? New Flyer Industries Canada, a subsidiary of NFI Group, an independent bus and coach manufacturer involved in zero-emission electric mass mobility solutions, or electric buses, has secured 2 orders from Durham Region Transit. North Carolina? Okay. Thanks, David. The orders include 7 Excelsior Charge NG 40-foot battery electric buses and 36 Excelsior 40-foot clean diesel buses. There you go. There's the diesel. Clean diesel buses. As long as it's low sulfur diesel, it should be fine. DRT is one of Ontario's largest regional transit systems, serving 8 municipalities across Durham region and connecting. Oh, okay. This isn't even in the state. Durham is apparently a Durham in Ontario. Since 1988, New Flyer has been a trusted partner in DRT, delivering safe, reliable, and accessible public transit solutions for their communities. The latest investment underscores our shared commitment to enhancing mobility and improving the passenger experience through continuous innovation and strategic investments, like expanding our Winnipeg facility to support an all-Canadian bus manufacturing initiative. New Flyer is strengthening Canada's transit ecosystem for future generations. As long as you make these things so that they run without too much trouble, I'm sure it'll be good. You make garbage, people are not going to buy from you anymore. These New Flyer buses will enhance the Durham Region Transit fleet to support our mission of delivering sustainable, efficient public transit services for the communities we serve. DRT's Excelsior Charge NG buses will be among the first manufactured under New Flyer's All-Canadian Building Initiative, which expands its Winnipeg manufacturing capacity to enable complete manufacturing of heavy-duty transit buses in Canada. New Flyer's Excelsior Charge NG bus reportedly incorporates 3 technology advancements: high-energy batteries, advanced protective battery packaging for easy installation and simpler serviceability, and a lightweight electric traction drive system with up to 90% energy recovery. Okay. Like I say, make it good quality, make it so they last without breaking down all the time, and you'll be fine. As soon as they break down, the people are going to consider them garbage, and you are going to lose business. Ontario hikes cost of electricity exports. Lutnick says more tariffs are coming. So this is Ontario, not us. I'm in Alberta. Ontario apparently supplies power to the U.S., the East Coast there. And they're going to slap a surcharge on there, I think. So we'll see where that goes. Canadian nuclear buses when? Yeah, especially if the buses catch on fire. Yeah. Yeah, they should have taken that into account as well. So this might affect you guys, maybe you, David, in Minnesota. I'm not sure if you get your power from Ontario or not. Ontario placed a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to the United States on Monday as Canada braced for steel and aluminum duties the Trump administration is set to deploy on Wednesday. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said Monday at a news conference called to announce electricity price increase for about 1.5 million homes in 3 U.S. states. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. Many Canadian leaders have vowed to push back against all U.S. tariff threats after President Donald Trump launched and partly paused their trade war with Canada and Mexico last week. Anybody else feel like this might be a distraction for something? Something to draw people's attention away from something else that's going on? It's usually what happens is they make a big stink about something insignificant, and then the big stuff just happens off camera where you can't see. I'm just throwing it out there. Oh, you sure you do somewhat? Okay. Turmoil in the markets continued Monday as Wall Street responded to the ongoing tariff uncertainty and Trump's refusal to rule out recession. While U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Sunday that Trump will follow through on his plan to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to the U.S., the billionaire financier added Trump's most recent tariff threat against Canada's dairy and lumber exports would not take effect until April. You're already paying an extra 37 cents for lap dances at the Beaver Hut? These tariffs must end. I agree. It's outrageous. Canada is supposed to have a free trade agreement with us, 250% on dairy products. It's outrageous, Lutnick told NBC's Meet the Press. And you know the president is going to respond to it, but he's agreed not to respond until April 2nd. Trump floated on Friday the idea of hitting Canadian lumber and dairy with reciprocal tariffs as soon as Monday or Tuesday. Hey, Alex Moore, how you doing? Good to see you. Wasn't Doug Ford caught doing crack when he was mayor of Windsor? Wasn't that his brother? I thought there was his brother died, who was premier, and he might have been the one that was doing the crack. I was just like, yeah, I mean, if he can get elected, then anybody can. The president's team spent the weekend on U.S. TV news programs repeating the claim that Canada imposes 250% dairy tariffs. They did not explain how dairy duties actually work or note that the U.S. also has the industry-related tariffs of its own on a highly subsidized agricultural market. You can never remember which Ford brother is still alive. Yeah, that goes for me too. I'm not in Ontario, so I don't know. Under the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement on Trade, also called CUSMA, many importers don't actually pay those high tariffs on Canadian dairy. Canada uses tariff rate quotas, which place a limit on the quantity of a product that could be imported at a lower tariff rate. CUSMA was negotiated during the first Trump administration to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement. It is up for mandatory review next year. 1 minute after midnight on March 4th, the Trump administration imposed tariffs of 25% on almost all Canadian and Mexican imports, with a lower 10% levy on Canadian energy. On Thursday, after days of market chaos, Trump signed an executive order delaying those tariffs for goods that meet the rules of origin requirements under CUSMA. Lutnick said those tariffs will be revisited next month. Trump pushed ahead with those levies using the International Economic Emergency Powers Act, a national security statute that gives him authority to control economic transactions after he declared an emergency on fentanyl trafficking at the northern border. And I'm all for getting rid of fentanyl. That stuff, that's terrible stuff. A little bit'll kill you, so we gotta stop that stuff. Ottawa responded with a plan to boost border security, but Canadian officials have said the Trump administration's use of fentanyl to justify tariffs is farcical. Foreign Minister Mélanie Joly, who has described relations with the Trump administration as a psychodrama, has said the president wants to weaken Canada through devastating duties. Also, I'd like to point out that my own Canadian government weakens us by taxing the citizens over everything and too high. So yeah, stop blaming the Americans for stuff that you are doing. And once he has weakened us, possibly try to annex Canada. He said this in the past. Jolly said last week, Trump has repeatedly claimed he wants to make Canada a U.S. state. Well, it would be a bunch of states, I would think. You don't make the whole country a state. Like, that's just ridiculous. Just go to each province and ask them if they want to be a state. That's all. Well, that reminds you who thought we were going to get Pierre Polytechnique as PM? Who's that guy who looks like Temu version of Mike Pence? Ha! That's Mark Carney. He was and I don't want him in there. He's just he's the leader of the Liberal Party now. So because Trudeau stepped down, he's been, I don't know, placed in there. I don't even think they got the vote. The party got the vote on who gets to be in there, but now he's the leader elect. So he'll be running against Pierre Polytechnique in the election when we have it. But Mark Carney used to be the governor of the Bank of Canada, so I don't want him in there. He had a lot of times to help us out being the governor of the Bank of Canada, and I don't think we should have him in there as a prime minister. Especially Quebec. There you go, David. We must seize the syrup fields. The syrup must flow. Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, don't make the whole country a state. Go to each province and be like, hey, you guys want to be a state? Okay. Sounds like another globalist stooge. He is. That's all he is. When you're the president or CEO of like a central bank, which is what Bank of Canada is, it's like the equivalent to the Federal Reserve. You're just, you have no affiliation to any country. You have no loyalty to anybody. And you're just going to do everything possible to keep yourself and your central bank ruling everybody, even the government. So that is, all central banks are evil and they should not be allowed to be around because they are not, as a lot of people think, part of the government at all. They are privately owned. And that is where when they say the government has debt, that's where the debt is going to, the central bank. So the government is using your tax money to pay off the debt to the central bankers. And those are the people who the debt is getting paid to. Hey, it's Mike from Pacific 414. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Parliaments confuse you? Yeah, Faber. The same Bank of Canada that got caught putting life insurance policies on customers out there and all? Yeah, that sounds pretty scummy and exactly something they would do. Hope things are going well for you there, Mike. What else? Where are we? Okay, we're almost at the end here. When asked about the legitimacy of the tariffs Sunday, President Trump's top economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, insisted Canada is a major source of fentanyl. I can tell you in the Situation Room, I've seen photographs of fentanyl labs in Canada that the law enforcement folks were leaving alone. U.S. Customs and Border Protection data shows only a small volume of fentanyl crosses illegally into the United States from Canada. It reports just 13.6 grams of fentanyl seized by Northern Border Patrol staff in January. The White House has not responded to a request for comment or information about the administration claims regarding Canada and fentanyl. U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the federal agency tasked with combating illicit drug trafficking and distribution, has not responded to a request for information. The department's National Drug Threat Assessment for 2024 does not mention Canada. It does mention Mexico, China, and India. Yeah, so is it baloney? Is it a bunch of BS that there's a lot of fentanyl coming in through the northern border? I would say it's weed. Never mind fentanyl. I'm pretty sure weed is the biggest export. Not at all. They hurt the country more than help. Yeah, exactly. They hurt the country more than help. You know it, Mike. Okay, that's that one. ABB signs agreement with Dow as the automation partner to support path to zero ethylene complex in Canada. Okay, well, we'll skip that one for today. Here's an interesting article I found it's actually from Detroit. It's from a site called Click on Detroit. List of resources for high school, college students considering skilled trades. Resources available for students as early as 6th grade. Oh, look at that. That sounds great. Let's see what it has to say here. The state of Michigan is facing a shortage of skilled trades workers, but there are plenty of resources for students who are considering that route. Pure Michigan offers resources for students as early as 6th grade and through college. You're good? Caught me at a good time? Wanted to hear what we had to say about the new Prime Minister? Oh, yeah. I don't care for him at all. I really don't. I don't think he's going to be good for us. It's more of the same. He's with the same party that Trudeau was, and it's not going to be good. Frankly, I think that our whole system of electing and parliament and all that should just be wiped out. We need something different, something better, because this system we have right now does not work for the people. And it doesn't matter who you vote in. The party whip, and that's what we have here, is someone called the party whip, and he goes around and tells everyone how they should vote for whatever bill is coming up. So, to me, that is not democracy. That is not listening to what the people say. That is your party, and the people that run the party are ruling the country and not letting people vote how they want to vote. So when you have someone that goes around and tells people how to vote, that is not democracy. We do not have democracy in Canada at all. Use a Canadian distributor for your cattle, and the tariffs are going to cost you roughly $500 per cow. Ooh, you'll write it off as capital loss, but some can't do that. Yeah, Alex, 6th grade. Let's see what else they got here. For 6th through 12th graders, you can click this link to view current registered apprenticeship listings in Michigan. Go down to the section that has a checkbox reading job level of the position you are looking for. Select all that apply, then check the box that says registered apprenticeship. The search can be narrowed to seasonal, part-time, full-time, or other options. Pay type and location can also be included in the search. Well, that's just great. Why don't I take this and copy that and put it into the chat window, and you guys can click on it if you like, and see what I'm talking about. That's the ruling party's dictatorship. Yes. Yep. 100%, Mike. It's exactly what it is, and it's disgusting. I don't like it, but there's not much I can do about it. I can't, unless a bunch of people are willing to rise up and change the way of actual government works and the way political parties work and all that. Then I don't think we should have any political parties. I think everyone should be an independent, but I doubt that's ever going to work because people will always band together and form parties. in order to keep themselves, employed. Registered apprenticeship provides paid, relevant work experience, related classroom instruction, and national credentials employers value. Registered apprentices are attractive to today's employers because they learn the precise skills needed to help employers succeed. At the same time, apprentices can gain college credit, industry certifications, and above-average wages. The use of registered apprenticeship training model is expanding across both traditional and non-traditional industries into more than 7,200 occupations, including careers in advanced manufacturing, agriculture, construction, education, energy, healthcare, information technology, mobility, and many others. If you're looking for a flexible career path that will allow you to avoid or minimize tuition debt, and that's 100% true, I agree with that. You get a foot in the door at a progressive company or even change careers, registered apprenticeship may be a great option for you. And that's from the Michigan government. Detroit needs tradesmen badly, but the city government is so corrupt no tradesmen want to work there. Oh, okay. Yeah, and years ago, like Detroit, they just had a flood of people get out of there, eh? They just, the city got abandoned, didn't it? There was just not as much population there as there was in the past. The only political party you're interested in serves Molson Gold. Or Molson Excel. That's the one you want. That's the old 7.5% beer. Or Moosehead. I think I've seen Moosehead in the liquor store. Yeah. For college students in Southeast Michigan, Oakland County Executive David Coulter has a program alongside the Economic Growth Alliance to help connect students with trade schools. The page offers a career search tool via ONET, My Trade School Education and Training Resources, and employers who are currently looking to fill jobs. Click here to view the main page. Resources for parents and educators. There's a slew of resources for parents and teachers who are trying to decide what's best for their children and students. Now, you got to be careful with teachers because colleges and universities are going to be like, so, hey, you should talk up our schools to your students. And, here's keys to a nice car for you if you guys want to, tell them all about us and how they should go to university and college. So you gotta be careful there. Well, that's it for that article. But at least they're doing something. Old Michigan. You homebrew, so you haven't had a commercial beer in years? Hey, the homebrew! Nice. That's good stuff, Fabric. This other one I found, how Gen Z can save the $235 billion kitchen and bath industry. I didn't know there was that much money to be made or that big of an industry for kitchen and bath. This is from Forbes, by the way. Modern kitchens and bathrooms are a major perk of living in our time. Though these conveniences are relatively new in human history, it's easy to take them for granted until your facilities need work and your contractor can't get to your project for weeks or months or even longer. This is the story unfolding in the $235 billion kitchen and bath industry, where the skilled labor shortage has been steadily growing. According to new research by National Kitchen and Bath Association, 5 years ago, 41% of kitchen and bath businesses were currently experiencing a moderate or severe skilled labor shortage. And why didn't they do something back then? It was 5 years ago. They should have been doing something about it, not waiting. Today, 58% can't find the skilled workers they need, and the talent gap is likely to grow wider as the current workforce ages. Changing lifestyle and work expectations, a generational shift away from trades, and a lack of education and training are the most prominent factors driving the shortage. Over the past few years, we've also seen an aging of the U.S. skilled labor workforce, creating an even larger need for enhanced training programs to equip the next generation of pros with the skills they need. This isn't a new story, nor is it limited to this industry. Across all skilled trades, this plot has been foreseen for decades. See that? They even admit there, the plot's been foreseen for decades. They knew it was coming. They just chose not to do anything about it. Nobody wanted to be proactive. Instead, you wait and panic until the last minute. As our societal push for all students to pursue college-related careers prevented many from choosing these fields. You're not surprised? Have you seen what they charge for fixtures nowadays? And their quality is... Yes. Yep, 100% fabric. It's just, you go to like a Home Depot or something like that, and it's like you go buy a fixture, and it's just like, what is this? This thing's not going to last. One of the reasons that young people have been steered away from the skilled trades is the perception that these careers are somehow a lesser option than white-collar work. Nothing could be further from the truth. Skilled labor careers are lucrative, fulfilling, and offer great work-life balance, says Darcy. These careers provide the flexibility that a lot of younger people are seeking, with options for self-employment, varied work environments, and schedules that don't have to align with the traditional 9-to-5 routine. Honestly, working 7 to 3 is great. Those are great hours for me. 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I come home and I got the rest of the day. It's great. They kicked the can down the road until they ran out of road. Yep. That's their own fault. They're squarely to blame, too. Darcy also notes that in our shifting employment landscape, skilled labor career opportunities are plentiful and always in demand. As AI and automation reshape the job market, skilled trades stand out for their resilience. Many require hands-on expertise, problem-solving, and human judgment that technology can't easily replicate, he says. This enduring demand makes skilled labor careers not only valuable, but also increasingly secure. Yes, I 100% agree with that. These people obviously didn't hear your Dr. Plumber joke from last week. Yeah, there you go. I remember that, David. That was good. Come home and watch anime. Of course I do, Alex. Of course I do. Get home, fire up YouTube, see who's on streaming, see if any people I know are on streaming, see what they're doing. That's what I do. I come home, check that out, have dinner, watch some television with the wife, and yeah. Then depending on the day, I'll either come down and check out who's streaming again, or go play some games. The skilled trades come back. Today's young people are the hope of the kitchen and bath industry, and they are encouraging signs that Generation Z is open to careers of all callers. Gen Z has been dubbed the tool belt generation. I've still yet to see anybody from Gen Z in the trades. And young folks are increasingly interested in pursuing careers in the trades. I still haven't seen that yet either, so I don't know where they're getting this from. Enrollment in vocational training programs is up across the country as more students and their parents see alternatives to the traditional college path. Like myself, Darcy believes that college is not the problem. It's an excellent path for some, however. It's not the only route to success, he says. The trades offer fulfilling and lucrative careers, and there's a tremendous demand for skilled labor professionals across our industry, especially carpenters, installers, and electricians. We don't see that changing anytime soon. That's because it won't. You started that Red Ranger anime and was pleasantly pleased by the fan service. Hey, nice, Fabric. For fan service, I gotta say, Behe Neko is, it's up there, man. It's really good. Shifting the perception of the skill trades. The skills gap in the kitchen and bath industry won't shrink until more people understand the dignity and value inherent to this type of work. We need to do a better job of making young people aware of the exciting opportunities that are available in the skilled trades, says Darcy. And we have to make training programs more accessible so they can explore the many opportunities and develop the capabilities they need to grow their careers. First, you have to let them, you have to make it so they want a career. Like, there's a difference. There's a job, and then there's a career, right? A job, you can move from job to job, but you pick a career and you're like, no, I am this, I am in this trade and this is what I'm learning. And this is a career, and I can go to different places, but still bring my career with me. One way the NKBA seeks to advance education in the industry through its Next Up program, which raises awareness about careers in designing, building, and remodeling, beautiful and functional kitchens and baths. Our affiliated schools program works closely with colleges and universities to prepare students for thriving careers in the industry. The universities bought the vocational schools, so where is Gen Z taking the vocational program? Yeah, exactly, Fabric. That's what I want to know. Hey, Aris, how you doing? Good to see ya. Yeah, as far as these vocational programs, I know there's the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, there's the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. I'd have to look into them and see what the numbers are for enrollment, whether they're up or not. But that's in my neck of the woods. And I've still yet to meet a Gen Z tradesman, really. Where the industry is headed. Darcy believes there's no more important challenge facing the kitchen and bath industry right now than the skilled labor shortage. While our industry is poised for moderate growth after 2 years of stagnation, the availability and cost of skilled labor remain major hurdles that prevent many businesses from keeping up with demand. It's their own damn fault. Once again, it's their damn fault. More than half the kitchen and bath companies we surveyed report that project finishes are being delayed because of the lack of skilled labor, and the shortage is also causing delayed project starts and increased workloads for existing employees. Did I hit on something? Oh, okay. Too many think of trades as a job and not a career. Yes. Yeah, that's why I said you got to make that differentiate between the job and a career. Right? A career shouldn't feel like a job. It's like, hey, this is what I do, and I like doing it. Job is like, oh, I fill that hole in over there, or I punch out things 8 hours a day, the same machine. It's like, yeah, that's a job, not a career. Our industry's continued growth will depend in large part on our ability to expand the skilled labor's workforce. To meet these challenges, many NKBA members are increasing compensation packages, offering more flexible hours, and expanding benefits to attract new talent from a finite pool of skilled workers. You see, it's happening now. You have a shortage of tradesmen. Companies have to be like, well, okay, well, we'll pay you more. Okay, well, we'll give you flexible hours. Okay, well, maybe we'll pay for more benefits then. It's like, yeah, you have to do that now because you guys dropped the ball in bringing on new people when you had the chance. And now you're paying for it. So you know what? No sympathy for the companies. You made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. The end game, of course, is to expand the pool of talent. It's going to require big thinking and big action to turn this shortage around and make skilled trades jobs appealing and accessible to young people across the country. The skilled trades benefit everyone. Solving the skills gap in the kitchen and bath industry will do more than help the industry and your kitchen and bath project timeline. Investing in the skilled trades is investing in the community. It will benefit communities and small businesses across the country if we can offer young people a future where they can learn a skilled trade and put it into professional practice without having to move elsewhere. I mean, sometimes it's got to happen as well. I moved for work. I traveled from one province to another for work. So there was nothing for me on the West Coast anymore. It was too overpopulated and not enough jobs. And so, you know what? I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to where oil country is. So I go to oil country and, within 5 days I had a job. So that's what it was like back in the day. That was in 2004. So 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. It will benefit communities and small businesses across the country if we can offer young people a future where they learn skilled trade and put up professional practice without having to move elsewhere. When talented young people remain in their communities and thrive, it contributes to the long-term stability and prosperity of those towns and cities. To young people weighing their career options, Darcy offers a compelling call. It's an exciting time to join the kitchen and bath industry. He says skilled workers are creating innovative solutions at the intersection of design, wellness, technology, sustainability. A career in the skilled trades might just be the opportunity Gen Z needs to rebuild an industry and create their own competitive advantage in the bargain. Yeah, all right. I'm yet to see anybody from Gen Z. I mean, B plus BC is full of hosers, eh? Yeah, Fabric. Exactly. You're going to hang out with those guys. All right, everybody. Yeah, it's picture time. It's picture time. That's it for the articles. Let's hit up some pictures. I took some today, and you might have noticed my title of the stream was Just Around the Bend. So you might have an idea of what I'm going to show. Let me just get this all set up here. And then we'll do a screen capture. Okay, there we go. Instrument tubing. So this is stainless steel tubing. It's you can see the fit, how it fits on there. You've got the nut, you've got the ferrule on there, which goes into the receiving end. And you can see how this is bent. There's a 90 here, another 90, a 90 here, and then a 90 here. So this thing is no good. It was leaking. So when the fellow was tightening it up, they leak checked it, as we often have to do. Mandatory. It's mandatory to leak check any piece of hose, tubing, or piping that has been disconnected. Mandatory leak check. And so this thing leaked, and I was like, okay, well, I will do what I can. And there's another shot of it, as you can see. It's, it's got the, there's the nut there, and yeah, this is the part that sits in there. This is what does the actual sealing, is this part here, this tapered bit. And you can see what it looks like, bend, and it's got a bend, and then it goes over here, and it goes over here. So it connects one valve to another. That's exactly what this piece of pipe does. Connects from one valve to another. There's another shot of it. That gives you an idea of what it looks like a little better. It's quite long. So you have to set up your tubing bender in the vise, which I do. And you grab a piece of straight tubing. So did the engineer have too much pipe and no pipe cutter? Nope. The engineer, he was okay. He was laying his pipe. There you go. There's length of it. I cut, I think, 48 inches long because of all the bends, and you got to account for all the, when things bend, they contract quite a bit. They take up a lot of the length can be lost when you're doing bends. So put it in there, lock it down, and then you bend it. And as you can see, I bent it to 90 degrees. So it's got the scale on there. 1.5 inch radius. That's fine. And yeah, it grabs the end there, and you just pull it around, grab that and line it up. You've got yourself a 90-degree angle. Then, as you can see, I pulled it through. You see now. Oh, Fabric with the jokes. Yes, sir. He'll be here all night. Tip your waitress. So you take some measurements and you pull it through and set it up, and then once again, bend another 90 in it. Pull it out again, flip it up, bend another 90. When you've got to the last bend, as you can see, it's up here. Then you pull out the tubing cutter, which is made by the Rigid Company, good brand. And you can see that there's the cutting edge there. There's 2 rollers here that support it. And you just rotate this thing around the pipe, and you can turn the knob as you go, a quarter turn each time. So you turn it a quarter turn and you spin it around a couple times, turn the knob again, spin it around, and it'll eventually make a nice cut through the tubing. Then you grab this thing, and this cleans out the inside, gets rid of the burrs, which is necessary. And then you swip it around to that side, and that cleans the outside of the tubing of any burrs. It's important that you do that. Make it nice and make sure there's no sharp edges. And there it is. So you can see the old one is on the right. The new one is on the left. So being able to bend things correctly is quite the art form to do. Now, I cheated a little bit. I probably could have had maybe 6 inches less length, but I ended up cutting it off because I don't want to get caught short. So yes, not bad. It lines up, and it lined up really well when I went to install it back where it was. I mean, it fit like a glove. Just went right in there. Oh, the bender and cutter are one? What sorcery is this? No. It's a separate cutter. Right? The cutter is its own thing. You can see right here. The bender's not in the vise anymore. Right? You clamp the bender in the vise. Hey, what's up, Real Wave Nation? How you doing, man? Welcome. We're just going over one of the things I had to do today, and that was I had to make some instrument tubing. So the old one is on the right-hand side. The new one is on the left-hand side. And I had to bend it up so that it was an exact replica or exact copy, and go and install it back on the 2 valves there. And it fit just nicely. As you can see, there's the nut that's going to go on there, and it's a compression fitting. So as you tighten this nut up, it pushes a tapered ferrule further into the receiving end, and it uses that compression to seal properly. And there's the cleaning up the tubing. But yes, it started out like that. There's the old one. Right? You can see the compression fittings on it. So if I could have taken this off and just swapped out the compression fitting, I would have. But once these are used, they dig in to the pipe or to the tubing. They dig into it, and you can't remove them. Like, I would have had to try to cut that off without damaging it, and I doubt I could have done that. So it's just easier for me and quicker. Because if you notice the timestamp down here, it was today at 1:22 p.m. So I started at 1:22, and each photo will have the timestamp on there. At 1:23, I made my first bend. 1:24, made the next one. 1:26, I made the next one. And at 1:29, I was cutting it to length. So it took me about 7 minutes to bend up a replacement. So I'm quite proud of myself. I was able to get that thing looking very much like the one I had to replace. Compression fittings were a great invention. You used them when you changed your oil hose. Yes, they are great, aren't they? You just got to make sure the surfaces are nice and clean, so that those the two mating surfaces don't have any grit in between them. And yeah, compression fittings are great. They remind me of JIC fittings for anybody that's into hydraulics. JIC fittings are sort of the same thing. They seal on the flat. They don't use the threads like a pipe thread to seal. Pipe threads, those do use the actual threads to seal, whereas JIC, the pipe threads are just there to hold it tight against its mating surface. But yes, this is the bending I had to do today. And like I say, it worked out really well. I'm very happy about that. You can see you can get spare compression fittings. They come on this little plastic bar so that you don't lose them, because there's two pieces to it. There's the tapered part and then the backup ring that goes on there. And then the nut. So you put the nut on first, and then you put on these pieces after. So hydraulic hoses make great blackjacks. Oh, damn. I mean, yeah, especially if it's like something with 4-wire or 6-wire, David. Man, those would just lay you out good. Just whoomp. But yeah, this, I was very happy about this. This was good stuff today. Very busy day for me, though. Very busy. And yeah, for cutting the tubing, this guy, great little cutter. Doesn't take much. Yeah, and all this because of a leak. So it was leak checked with some Snoop, and Snoop is just a brand name. Pretty much you can just use soapy water, but this is probably Swagelok's special concoction they use. They call it Snoop, and it just detects air leaking. Nope. So yeah. I think that's all I got for those pictures today. I'll just take a quick check here. Let's see. There's where this is where it was going in. Well, not in this area, but on the other side. So there, as you can see, there's all the tubing going from valve to valve. So I was pretty much in this area, but not on this side of it. I was on the other side. So that's what it looks like when it's all hooked up together. So you got to get it right. Otherwise, you're going to be, you're going to be out. You're not going to be able to push it in place or anything like that. You got to be within a certain tolerance to make the connections. As you can see, there's the compression fittings. It's all compression fittings. Right? Going everywhere, going to the valve, going to the gauges, going to other pieces of tubing, right? Compression fitting there, compression fitting over here. Where is it? Oh, not that. Right here. Compression fitting here. This is a T going to a valve. So a lot of compression fittings. All right. So, hey, I think we've come to the end of another Trades Talk, everybody. Please, hey, hit that like button if you can. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Let them know old Pop's here. Just remember, there's other channels out there too. I have people that I personally watch and enjoy, like Mike from Pacific 4 and 4. He was in the chat. Our very own DJ Ronnie G. If you go back to my Sunday stream, me and DJ were talking about Macross Plus, Macross 7. So if you're a Macross fan, you like anime, step out here on Sundays and join me for Sunday anime chat. I always like to hear from people. Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Hey, guys, Pop's here. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Don't forget there's Brandon, the anime guy. He's very entertaining. I like watching Brandon's show. There's Carl at the RNG Podcast. There's Tomby. He's a good fella from across the pond in Britain there. There's Angry Canadian, Nerdporeal Lifeform. There's Punkwaddle, everyone's favorite penguin. He's my favorite penguin, too. He has his penguin positivity. I like listening to that. We need more of that out here. Too much negativity, too much doom scrolling. We've got to try to have a happier life because we're only here for a limited time. So let's make it a happy time. And then there's Infinite Metal. He's a fella I watch on Kick and Twitch, and he does great streaming with retro games and indie games. And he's got a Dragon Lord buddy, Skelly, and he mocks him as he plays, that's half the fun of being there, is listening to Skelly mock Infinite Metal. So really fun time. I always have a good laugh. Coming up, everybody, Saturday, Retro Game Day. I'm still looking for that darn God card. I gotta find a Shizu, beat Seto Kaiba, and finally get a God card to progress in the game. So, and I'm trying hard. I'm trying my darndest to get a God card. But, tune in and see if I can get it on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Then on Sunday, it's Sunday Anime Chat Day. Talking about one of my favorite franchises. That is Macross. Specifically, we're going to be talking Macross Zero and Macross Frontier. And Macross Frontier, for me, will always be one of the greatest Macross shows ever. My top tier favorite, Macross Frontier. It's 26 episodes long. It has great music, excellent story, wonderful animation. It's got everything you need in a Macross story. So if you want to watch a good Macross show, Macross Frontier is my top tier pick. And I could go on, and I will. I'll go on Sunday and just rant about this excellent show. So come on by then and hear more ranting. Then after Sunday, it's Tuesday again, more Trades Talk. I'll have more pictures, more videos, all sorts of good stuff about the skilled trades. You guys can stop by. And hopefully I can show you some more stuff. Maybe you'll learn a little bit, and, we can all see how the skilled trades are looks like they're slowly dying because nobody's stepping in to take the place, which is unfortunate. So let's do our best. Let's do our best there to all my tradesmen. Let's get out there and make a difference, as Deadpool would say. GG, getting a G card. Okay, Aris. Yes, I'm heading off as well. I had fun today. I hope you guys did too, and I hope you'll join me on Saturday for gaming or Sunday for anime chat. I want to say thanks to you all. I appreciate you coming out. And until the next time, everyone, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.